Thank you very much. It's been a great pleasure to be here. I hope you will please forgive me for speaking English. I'm a zooarchaeologist trained at Harvard University. Zooarchaeology is the study of animal bones from archaeological sites and is an important part of modern archaeology in Turkey and in the world. I've had the great pleasure to work with colleagues from Bülent Ecevit University on this project at İnönü Cave, where my zooarchaeological research has three primary goals. They are to understand the culture, economy, and environment of this region in the Chalcolithic, Bronze Age, and Iron Age periods from 4000 to 1000 BC. For culture and economy, I'm interested in finding out what people ate, what their food preferences were like, whether they were hunters or herders or farmers. I'm interested in their mode of life and mobility. Did they move from the mountains to the sea and back again? I'm interested in evidence for trade with other parts of the world. For example, the Balkans, the Black Sea coast, and even central Anatolia. For environment, I want to understand how changes in the abundance of wild animals over 4,000 years reflects changes in the local environment and how the ancient environment compares with that of today. Our work at İnönü Cave is the first modern zooarchaeology on the Turkish Black Sea coast. There's only one published report on the animal bones from İkiztepe in Samsun, and that's 30 years old, so we're making new discoveries literally every day as part of our project. Although we're in the very beginning stages of our project, I can tell you about the first zooarchaeological results of our research at İnönü, what animals we found in the cave, and how they were useful to humans. So, we found that both domestic and wild animals were used by ancient people at İnönü. The most abundant animal in the cave was a surprise to me. It's actually the domestic pig, used for meat and its valuable fat resources, and they could have been herded easily in the oak forests surrounding the site. We found one example of a pig with a healed fracture to its humerus, its upper arm, which had probably incurred in a fall, showing that herders, as far back as 6,000 years ago, provided medical care for their animals. Second in importance were domestic goats, perhaps not a surprise in this mountainous environment. Goats were used for meat, but we've found many goats were killed at very old ages, suggesting that products such as milk and goat hair were important. Third, we have small domestic cattle, which were also probably used for milk and meat. It's interesting, however, that sheep, a species that's very common in Anatolia, is absent from our cave. This has been a big surprise to me. What fiber were they using with their spindle whorls? Probably not wool, but perhaps goat hair instead. Perhaps this is part of a unique local economy. Now, the real surprise here at İnönü Cave has been the abundance of wild animals in the Chalcolithic, Bronze Age, and Iron Age periods. We found roe deer, red deer, were just as important as the domestic animals in the ancient economy. They clearly roasted the meat and also used deer antler for a variety of tools. And certainly they also used deer skins for clothing and equipment, and perhaps even shoes. Wild animals were not limited to deer, though. A big surprise has been that both wild boar and wild cattle were also hunted by ancient people at İnönü. These are two of the largest and most dangerous wild animals in ancient Anatolia, and hunters were able to regularly capture and kill 1,000 kilogram cattle and 300 kilogram boar. Of course, wild cattle are now extinct, but we've shown that they were present here in this region as recently as the Iron Age. In addition, we found the bones of a wide range of carnivores. These include bear, leopard, lynx, wild cat, marten, and fox. These animals may have been eaten, but likely they were primarily used for their fur. For example, bear remains consist mostly of hand and finger bones, including claws, suggesting they were attached to skins. Bear bones were also used as amulets and worn, perhaps as necklaces, probably related to rituals associated with this very special animal. Finally, we've also found evidence for the use of birds, tortoise, and also, most important, fish at İnönü. The role of fish at İnönü Cave is especially interesting as it suggests either movement by people from the cave to the sea or interaction with people from the Black Sea coast. Now, we're at the very beginning of our zooarchaeological work at İnönü Cave. The next step is to continue analysis in our laboratories, including the extraction and analysis of ancient DNA from the bones to identify exactly which fish species of fish were brought to the site, for example, but also how the livestock, cattle and goats and pigs, are related to modern livestock in Europe and the Middle East. We plan to publish our results in an international scientific journal in the next year. Finally, I think our new zooarchaeological research at İnönü Cave represents the very beginning of a new series of exciting new discoveries on the prehistory of this important region as it begins to be explored in greater detail and for all the world to see. And finally, on a personal note, I would like to say thank you to everyone for supporting this research and how pleasant and welcoming Ereğli has been as a host city for this research project. Çok teşekkürler.